Good morning, hello everyone, to all participants of this international conference. I'd like to thank you for the invitation. My topic is the transition of a post-socialist or post-real socialist society and intolerance towards religion. I'd like to thank Mr. Hočevar for his inspiring talk and empirical experience of living. And this actually inspired me to highlight on certain issues and topics. If there is time, later on, we'll be discussing them, asking questions through an approach that is less of an academic approach, because this is an interdisciplinary approach. The attention should be paid because so far we had more about religion, so we should pay attention to sociology. And I'd like to share with you a number of premises from a sociological aspect, so to understand social processes and phenomena that we have seen over the past 2 decades of this century and the last 2 decades of the 20th century. So these changes are many, deep and comprehensive, and we can understand them only by segments, systems, or by systems. I'd like to draw your attention to the 2 major concepts in international relations that characterize previous times: integrating and disintegrating processes. Here, I like to underscore the importance of those processes that go hand in hand, which is quite unusual. And if you look at Southeastern Europe, all the processes in Southeastern Europe, 10 or 12 countries. For example, we had 6 disintegration processes in the former Yugoslavia and 6 elsewhere. But our colleagues who come from other countries will help us here. For example, Slovenia is sometimes seen as a Mitteleuropean country, and some other scholars view it in a different fashion. And there is Turkey, and there is the European portion of Turkey. I mean, if you look at this issue through our geographical lenses, but also, Turkey for decades now has aspired to join the EU. So in the initial phases, we saw disintegration, especially in the former Yugoslavia, destruction and decadence of entire societies. If we look at if you look at different experiences from different eras, crises and wars, we do not see any novel things when it comes to internal and external factors, because these processes have been accelerated, imposed possibly, and what is novel is the pace and intensity of the processes. One study that looked into the transition was that one of Alfred Stepan and Juan Linz, Democratic Transition and Consolidation. And this study actually starts from a scientific premise to understand the key prerequisites or parameters that a society needs to meet so that the transition process initiates and ends, again, under certain condition, and transforms into consolidation, meaning and implying the economic and civic society, the rule of law, Rechtsstaat, etc. In the concept of our disintegrating our process in the 12 countries, the process of transition and consolidation was completed by Greece in 1971 within a record of 144 days. There are other countries also that were permeated by the process because of the previous disintegration processes. For example, look at the post-socialistic societies of Romania, Hungary, Bulgaria, and some of our republics now, states. None of those societies has finalized the transition process, if you look at the academic terms. And then we have freedom, democracy, human rights, the rule of law, gender equality, and some novel developments that we saw with the onset of the gender centers, LGBT population, whatnot, which we see every day on the media, social activism, and the like. Some of those countries saw short versions of integrations, and then we saw EU integration that was accompanied by certain conditions. Military integration is the priority. In these post-socialist societies, deep change was necessary, including change of the political system. In the past, the political and economic systems were characterized by socialist relations, single-party system, planned economy, etc. With the abolishment of the further development of that system meant the need for better preparation, organization, and concept of the society. And if you look at the position of the church or the status of the church, it should have found an appropriate framework of social life and functioning and operating in new conditions, and also to adapting to or siding with newly formed political systems and new templates or new forms of value systems and personal systems. If we go back to the sociological aspects and phenomena, sociology knows social statics and social dynamics, as you may know. These days we are revisiting both social statics and social dynamics. When it comes to social transformation, social dynamics has always pursued and developed. So in this context, we need to revisit the historical context, traditional context, and different value sets. We need to see whether statics and dynamics are still in the opposition and what will prevail. We need to understand the dynamics because insisting on dynamics has led to the third and fourth scientific revolution, and in the best sense of the word. But you see that the ramifications are twofold, as before. So in its pursuit of new and better life, the question is to which extent the mankind will be able to make the best use of technological developments. I don't think the societies have been organized or ready to accept and fully understand the novel technologies, technical gadgets, innovations, technologies, whatnot. So it is in this military security arena that we see that one can go to the very end in competing in international relations with from the position of power and force, which is yet another security and safety aspect that should be better understood, but let's leave it there. Now, a few words about tolerance, because that is another topic that is part of this session: religion, society, and tolerance. So that's this panel. So we can go back to Aristotle. In his Ethics, he highlighted value that should also, or virtue that should always be actually a balance between all sorts of things, intolerance, etc. And on the other hand, there is tolerance of for all sorts of things, including insult, tarnishing the personal state, etc. It's quite difficult to strike a right balance in a disorder. Hegel also highlighted that what is known is not necessarily understood. So there is only a difference in one letter in our language, spoznato versus poznato. But this difference actually reflects a lot, including the will to seek to know things, to give up on some of the principles we may share, to give up on some things, to be able to understand the opposing views. The religious approach to tolerance also implies, in a way, the balancing. And for 30 years or so, we've had a religious council. And this council comprises leaders of religious communities, and they meet once a year, and then they decide when to meet the next time. So that's the dialogue, and that's the approach here. I think it's called an interreligious or interfaith council in Bosnia and Herzegovina. As for other countries in the region, in order for us to understand what's happening there, we need further research, and we have participants from those countries, and it would be good if they could share with us their experiences and, hear their perspectives. As for the areas of tolerance, we see tolerance in different walks of life, including religion, culture, etc. But we cannot be tolerant in science, but not tolerant in religion. We are either tolerant or intolerant. Tolerance is not divisive, or in art, for example. So we need to have an objective approach. And so far, tolerance has always had a political and social aspects, biological determination and social causes of intolerance. I do not want to take up too much of your time. I'll share my paper with the organizer to publish it in the proceedings from this conference. Obviously, we'll all prepare our papers. I just wanted to share with you some experience and glance at certain premises, open issues, to be able to understand what is it that goes beyond these issues. Because we live in complex times, we need to be able to move from spoznato or poznato, known, to spoznato or understood. Thank you.